Welcome in, everybody, to That Wrestling Show. Back from the Cape, back in the studio.
Yeah, I missed you. I missed you. But you looked like you were having a ton of fun on the veranda.
I was. It was fantastic. Bloody Marys and this show, they just go hand in hand. But we're back in the studio because today is the biggest pre-show party of the summer. We're talking SummerSlam today on That Wrestling Show. Yep. I am Mike Wendt. Of course, you NESN viewers know me from Wicked Bites every Saturday morning at 9:30 right here on NESN. Liam!
I am Liam Stryker of the New Age Insiders, and you can find us on newageinsiders.com. And all the fun stuff, we do all sorts of stuff. Rocking the Rant with Ant t-shirt.
You are, living the gimmick.
Living the gimmick from the New Age Insiders Network.
Hawking the merch.
Yeah, you know, you got to sell your own stuff.
You really do. But before we get started into the show, we would like to, of course...
in the world of pro wrestling, there's a lot of big news that isn't just necessarily just WWE related. As some of you may or may not know, Ric Flair has been hospitalized. As far as we know right now, he has come out of his medically induced coma, and he is recovering. He's not out of the woods yet, so our thoughts and prayers go out to Ric Flair.
Apparently, he cut a promo on one of the nurses, according to his publicist. I shared that on our Twitter, so please, Rick, speedy recovery. We can't lose a nature boy.
Woo to you.
But... I think even bigger news since we've been gone.
Yes.
WWE has lost somebody else. And I think we all need to gather together and join with me on Twitter, on whatever social media, hashtag thank you, Eva Marie. Thank you, Eva Marie, for your time. We have lost a legendary performer. She's moved on to movies, much like The Rock before her. I feel just such an iconic career that went by way too fast.
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, I think you can think of just such great performances as that time her top fell off.
It was great.
That time that she botched that spot.
It was great.
And then that time that she got suspended.
That was fantastic too. We can't forget all the enjoyment she's given us on Total Divas. Or that time right before her suspension when she was stuck in traffic and couldn't make it to the arena.
That's right.
So from That Wrestling Show to you, please join us. Hashtag thank you, Eva Marie. Let's get to the show.
Yes.
NXT TakeOver Brooklyn was last night. I can't tell you how much I adore what they're doing at NXT.
Yeah, this was the only of the 3 Brooklyn shows that I hadn't attended live. I had been to the first one and the second one, and unfortunately didn't make it to this one. Having this show in Brooklyn shows just how great the NXT brand is and how much it is a separate brand unto itself. It's Raw, it's SmackDown, and it's NXT.
It really is.
All 3 feel very, very different, and I think that this is such a sneaky way for WWE to give wrestling fans exactly what they're looking for at all levels. You have you have Raw, which is more of the traditional WWE show.
Flagship.
A lot of pomp, a lot of circumstances, and it's a sports entertainment show. SmackDown, it's still a WWE show, but it's focused more on pro wrestling.
Sure.
And then you have the NXT product, which feels just like a very well-produced indie show.
It really does.
And they're scooping up talent. There are a ton of people that you want to see, and they're telling very, very good stories while having the in-ring product to match.
Here's one thing that I take away from NXT, and it's a pet peeve of mine, and not just on TakeOver, but on the show in general. It's something I love that NXT does, and that annoys me that hasn't happened in WWE. When a wrestler comes out to the ring, and they're not wrestling, they're wearing street clothes. I can't stand when a wrestler comes to the ring just to cut a promo. That's their only job, and they're full up gimmicked. They got the elbow pads, the knee pads, everything's taped up. No, they come out, and it harkens back, and I know I always get caught saying, well, it's like the Attitude Era. But it does harken back when guys used to just wear, jeans and a t-shirt. But they're dressing them much nicer now because, we're classing it up a bit. This isn't the Attitude Era, this is NXT.
Right.
But they're doing that style where it's like, okay, this guy's out here just to talk. Or if he's doing a run-in, he's not in full gear.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it just feels more natural. It tells a better story, in my opinion. Charlotte was doing it for a while on Raw, but then when she went to SmackDown, she stopped doing it. And again, someone like that, she's got all the gimmick and the full robe and all that stuff. And I'm like, really? Did you do all that just to cut a promo?
Yeah, right. And I like watching it because it definitely, when somebody does show up in ring gear, it tells a little bit more personality to that person. If you haven't watched Brooklyn, sorry, we're
going to spoil it.
When Red Dragon showed up.
We're jumping right into that. Okay.
Yeah, when Red Dragon showed up, they weren't in a match,
right,
but they showed up in pseudo gear.
Right.
And if you know anything about Red Dragon, that's totally them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They're not going to show up. But then, here we go.
I was going to ask you. Let's kind of break it down just a little bit, because we're going to go through NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3,
right,
and then we're going to get to SummerSlam. Of course, let's just run down a couple of the matches before we jump into the big moment of the night.
The whole thing, yeah.
Johnny Gargano and help me out with that guy's name.
Johnny Gargano and Andre Cien Almas.
Thank you very much. Good wrestling match.
Yeah.
Clearly, they're still trying to tell the Ciampa and Gargano story.
Yes. So Ciampa is injured.
That's what I kind of figured.
So that is why he was not on this takeover, and that's why we didn't get the blow-off match or Ciampa at all. But I thought that they did a great job of infusing it by the way the match ended, having her throw a DIY shirt at him to distract him, because it was like seeing a ghost. And so it wasn't Ciampa there physically, but it had him distracted enough for Cien to get the win.
It was amazing how Morrow could tell that was a DIY shirt, even though the cameras could not.
I know.
Fantastic.
It was very interesting to see.
Aleister Black, Hideo Itami. I mean, I have it in my notes here, an absolute badass slugfest.
Yes.
They kicked, they punched. I mean, was Aleister Black, was his nose busted? Is that what happened?
Yeah, he got a bloody nose.
He broke his nose, probably.
I think he probably broke his nose.
It was brutal.
Kudos to WWE for not stopping that match.
That would have been a nightmare.
In today's day and age, they've done a lot to curtail the blood.
Yeah, absolutely.
To minimize it and put it away, and try and make sure that everybody's okay and the medical officials kind of get to it. And we saw it very much at the NXT level between Samoa Joe and Finn Balor. And one of their last confrontations suffered so much because
the ref was chasing around with a towel.
And trying to stop the match to stop the bleeding.
Right.
And it stopped. Having them just keep going added
right,
far more to this match than I think stopping it and restarting it would have.
Sure.
This was the type of match that Hideo Itami needed. Hideo Itami has been treading water and floating around.
Floundering is more accurate.
Really floundering here at NXT since coming in, and hasn't really lived up to the promise that has been his, Japanese pedigree.
Right.
And I think that this was the first time that he really lived up to it.
Gotcha.
I thought that this match was great from start to finish. It told a great story, and I really like the character that they're developing with Hideo Itami, where he's finally not happy to be here anymore and wants to be respected for the performer that he is.
I like the fact that they're, like you said, they're now building that character, so he's not just relying off name alone.
Right.
Oh, he was Kenta, so he was fantastic, so he's going to be fantastic here.
Right.
He's actually starting to build the Hideo Itami character itself, I feel.
Right.
And they're kind of getting away from, well, he's just the greatest there. Well, why? Show me a little bit more.
Right.
And that's what they're doing. And again, something I love about NXT is their entrances.
Yeah.
And the Aleister Black entrance is fantastic.
Yeah, I would love them to go a little bit more into, lean into it more, and I just want him to be a vampire. I just want him to be a full-blown vampire, because that's all that is him just...
Well, if you believe social media, Shelly Martinez is ready to come back anytime now. So we can get the Ariel character back. We get the whole vampire gimmick going. Perfect.
Yes, of course.
Moving on to the Tag Team Championships, Authors of Pain with, of course, the legendary Paul Ellering versus, personally, my favorite entrance of NXT, Sanity. Yeah. I think it's shot great. It just tells, that entrance alone tells such a great story. And I'm a huge Eric Young fan.
Yeah. It's funny because there's a couple of distinct eras when you talk about NXT, right? Because you have the first era that was a reality show. And it was a reality show that took place during Raw, and it was gimmicky and stupid. Then they moved it to its own show, and it was its own wrestling show, and having it be a real small-time promotion that nobody could find because it was on Hulu, and you had to pay for Hulu.
Right.
You had to pay for Hulu Plus before they made everybody pay for Hulu Plus.
Right, it was.
And that was how you watched NXT.
Sure.
And then it got brought onto the network, and now that's the NXT that everybody knows and loves. And watching Sanity, it's basically them just doing what the Wyatt family did
Kind of, yeah.
back in those days before anybody saw it.
Sure.
You know, and it worked then, and it's working now.
It is working now.
You know?
And of course, at the end of the match, we got new champions,
Yes.
Sanity. Now, does that mean, and we're going to talk about this in the main event, does that mean we're going to see Authors of Pain show up in the Superstar Shakeup that is impending?
I think so. I think having the Superstar, I think with the impending Superstar Shakeup, Bobby Roode, Asuka, and the Authors of Pain
They're gonna be the
are
ones that
kind
go
of
up.
on the top of the list of people to come up.
I disagree with one of those, but all right, we'll move on to that. But of course, after the match was the first appearance of Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Chat me up about these guys.
It was so funny because on the New Age Insiders podcast last week, we were talking about it. We were talking about the fact that both Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish were on NXT. They've had matches separately, but they weren't presented as Red Dragon.
Right.
Red Dragon is one of the most decorated independent tag teams that hadn't been signed up until WWE up until this point. Former IWGP Light Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. They're very, very good.
They're good.
They're very good.
They're good at the graps.
They're very good. And so it felt, as a fan of them and a fan of Ring of Honor, it felt very frustrating to have them both here but not have Red Dragon.
Gotcha.
And so turns out it was strategic.
There you go.
And that's why I always like to have a wait and see approach with a lot of people's debuts. And until they start really telling a real story, you gotta like just hold off your judgment, because if I had judged it on both of their singles matches, it's a failure. But now knowing how TakeOver ended up,
So you're saying if you were a stereotypical internet wrestling fan,
Right.
it would have been a
Very
failure, but
reaction.
as someone who let the story play out, now you're happy.
I popped so hard. I was so excited when I saw them together and take out everybody.
Right.
And it's gonna be really exciting to see what they do going forward, because the NXT tag team division has been lacking recently. You know, ever since DIY split up
Sure.
and American Alpha left, and so have the Revival.
Yeah.
So you really had the Authors of Pain
And Sanity.
but really Sanity wasn't in the title picture. They were just doing their own thing.
Right.
So, you just really had the Authors of Pain and everybody else.
Gotcha.
And so it's really nice to kind of replenish that division.
Women's Championship, Asuka continues her historic reign as NXT Women's Champion. Now, personally, I am a huge Ember Moon fan.
Yeah.
I think that woman is a star. Now, this was the one I disagreed with you on. I think Ember Moon is going to the main roster.
I think they both are.
I think she's fantastic. She's different. She is a character. The eyes, I love that they're just leaning into this character.
I wish that they would lean in a little bit more.
Werewolf.
And have her be a full-on werewolf.
You want the Universal Monsters to come running out.
I love Wrestle Silly. I love anything spooky magic, lights out magic person. The Undertaker is great. The Kane is great. The
Sure.
Wyatt, Finn Balor when he turns into a demon on the weekends.
We'll get there.
For some time. I'm a huge fan of all of that stuff. But it's different, right? Asuka is just a butt kicker.
She's a badass.
You know what I mean? So she's just going out there and she's doing her thing. And so Ember Moon having this character where she's kind of this, werewolf is really cool. And, Finn Balor shows up and is a demon sometimes. So let her be a werewolf sometimes.
That works too.
I thought I was kind of 50-50 on Ember Moon until this match. I thought that she was kind of being forced into the role of being the person to take down Asuka.
When it started, it was.
Right, and I didn't think that she was good enough to take that, And last night she proved that she was.
I feel that every match that they've had together, Ember Moon has just gotten better and better.
Right.
That's how I felt. Because,
Right.
like you said, she was very much forced into this role. And the first few times, I'm like, ugh. Because they're in two different leagues as far as
Right.
performers are concerned. But you work with somebody long enough, you're going to learn their style. You're going to learn their methods. And I thought last night they did a hell of a job.
Yeah.
Moving on to the main event of NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. The NXT Championship, Bobby Roode versus Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Another person. I love the new Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. I think that this is another person that has benefited so much from getting let go from WWE. There were 3 people There are three current people that are in the landscape of pro wrestling that, since leaving WWE, has gotten better. Drew McIntyre is one.
Yep.
Cody Rhodes is another.
I was gonna say
and
that.
then CJ Parker. He was the guy that did the environmental gimmick,
Yep.
and he lost to Kevin Owens on Kevin Owens' debut match.
Yep.
Basically, he looked around and said, the NXT is no longer for me. I am not the guy that, all of these indie stars are coming in and I'm still learning. I'm going to go be out in the independent world, hone my craft, and come back. And he's been fantastic. But Drew McIntyre was the first. He wasn't ready, and I hate using those words of he wasn't ready, but, he got thrust into a spotlight that I don't think he was prepared to handle as well as he could have, and then got saddled with 3MB. He got saddled with...
You say that, but 2/3 are now world champions.
I know. We'll talk about that in a second. It's very weird that as we sit right now, 2/3 of 3MB are world champions.
Are at the top of their show.
Yeah, they're at the top of their show. So
yes, new champion.
Yeah.
New champion, Drew McIntyre. Again, I think like you said, Bobby Roode we're expecting to see in the Superstar Shakeup.
Yep.
And then again, Red Dragon shows up.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah.
Adam Cole, baby!
Baby!
Talk about Adam Cole. Inform everybody, who is this man?
So Adam Cole, he was the flagship for Ring of Honor after Kevin Owens had left. When Kevin Steen had left Ring of Honor, he was the guy that kind of took over that mantle. He was the best wrestler on the planet for a while, at least by internet wrestling fans.
Sure.
He is phenomenal. He is a prototype wrestler of the modern WWE era. He's going to fit right in with someone like a Seth Rollins in a little bit more of that mold, where he wrestles that traditional indie style. But he is awesome. He's a great character. He was a former member of the Bullet Club, and it's very interesting that they're going to saddle him with Red Dragon right away. It was funny because I was watching that match, and Mauro Ranallo said Future Shock 3 times.
I saw your tweet and didn't understand.
And so Future Shock is a tag team between Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole when they were in Ring of Honor. And not knowing that Adam Cole was, I knew he was signed in NXT.
Okay.
I knew that he was a part of this product, but I didn't know when he was coming or anything. And then, so for him to show up, I tweeted out, I hope this is Beetlejuice rules. If you say it 3 times, he shall
Mauro
appeal.
said Future Shock.
He said Future Shock because it's like an underhook DDT that McIntyre uses. And so I go, I hope he uses it. Or I hope this is Beetlejuice rules. And then Cole shows up, and I was like, it is Beetlejuice rules.
It is Beetlejuice. There you go. So Adam Cole is in NXT. We have a new NXT champion. We have a new NXT tag team champions. Asuka still continuing to reign the women's division of NXT. I can't wait. I mean, like I said, I love what they're doing down there. I love the different style of it, the entrances. Everything about it is just different enough. That it gives you that alternative within the company. I absolutely love it.
The greatest trick WWE ever pulled
was building their own indie department.
Department.
Let's get to tonight, because tonight is SummerSlam. In a mere few hours from now, SummerSlam starts its 27-hour extravaganza with the 5 p.m. kickoff show.
Yeah, the show will wrap up Wednesday at around 4. So strap in.
But let's get right to it, because, I mean, we got a long list of matches to take care of.
Yeah.
Jason Jordan and the Hardy Boys versus The Miz and The Miz Taraz in the kickoff show. I mean, the revival, it was said by Matt Hardy, was deleted.
Yep.
He is now woken.
I am so done. I am so done with these teases, and I feel like they just keep...
Let it play out.
Yeah,
Don't be the standard fan.
I know, but the carrot is just on a string, and I'm just running around in circles. I hate it. It's either he's woken, he's not woken, he's dreamy, he's sleeping. I don't care.
Let it play out. That's all I'm going to say.
Shattered, broken, I don't care. Just get to it. Get to it. And Jason Jordan, that's the dumbest storyline that they could possibly be doing. Jason Jordan, for those of you who don't know, was named Kurt Angle's illegitimate black son. And the funniest thing to come out of it was... shots of Kurt Angle and Jason Jordan together with that Family Guy bit of when Peter Griffin had that that intro. That was the funniest thing. That's the best thing that's come out of this because it's very stupid.
But, kid can work.
Yeah.
The kid can work, and he kind of
I don't
works
know
like
why
Kurt Angle.
I don't know why we broke up American Alpha to have him be the illegitimate
Chad
son.
Gable must be pissed. Anyway.
Or Chad Gable's now going to be a solo star, and I'm okay with that.
You never know. You never know. However, I gotta say, I love the Miz Taraj.
Yeah.
The roadie and the lawyer. I don't know what we're calling him here, but Bo and Axel are fantastic. I still say the Miz is the best act that everybody hates.
Yep.
I absolutely love it. I think it's going to be a fun match. I think it's going to be an entertaining match. They are all great workers.
Yes.
But there's nothing really on the line.
Yeah.
Until the Revival get back. So we'll wait for that. Cruiserweight title on the line in the kickoff show. Akira Tozawa took the title at Raw. Yeah. I felt it was a mistake. Neville's trying to get it back. I felt it was a ploy just to get people to watch 205 Live. We're not going to watch.
Yeah, we don't care. What are we going to watch? We're going to watch Halloween Havoc 98?
Yeah.
How about Clash of Champions 22?
I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that match is happening. I mean, we're going to just run right through it because there's a lot of matches. But I think they put on a great match. That's the thing.
Yeah,
if the Cruiserweight division was just on Raw, cool.
Yeah.
But the fact that I'm not sticking
This is
around.
going to be the best match that nobody's going to care about.
Right. Well, you say that. But we'll get to one. SmackDown Tag Team titles, the New Day champions versus the Usos. For some reason on SmackDown, I felt they were overselling who was going to be in the match. It's Xavier Woods and Big E, but they kept saying, okay, they're the two that are, like, they kept overselling. I feel there's going to be something to do with Kofi in that.
Yeah.
It felt weirdly shoehorned of a possible New Day breakup that probably won't happen. I might be reading too much into their overselling.
I hope not. I hope not. I like the New Day. I think the New Day should just keep on trucking. And don't break up another tag team.
They sell gimmicks.
Don't break up another tag team on SmackDown. You don't have any left.
No, not many.
You don't have any left.
But the Usos, I think, are doing a hell of a job. I've said it before. I love the new Usos.
Yeah, the new Usos have been great. They're fantastic since their revival and finding this like prison guard gimmick.
Yeah, sure. Usos Penitentiary.
But still, the
Day
funniest.
one-ish.
Yeah, day one is H.
It's H.
Day one is H.
Sure.
I love Breezango. There you go. I said it.
Yeah.
They're the best. The Fashion Files.
And again, I have it much further down on my list here, but are we going to see Breezango?
We might see a Fashion Files segment of some kind.
There's a lot of people not booked that I want to see, and they are definitely one of them.
I want to see them I want to see them, and I want to see them wrestle, and I don't get to either of those things often.
No.
Which is weird.
I mean, I'm loving the Fashion Files or Fashion Peaks or
whatever
the hell you want to call them, but yeah, get these guys in the ring, get them back in the title picture, and hopefully this provides them that next, because this seems like the blow-off for the Usos in the New Day. It has to be. It's been going on forever.
Yeah.
So I feel that Fashion Files need to be the next thing, or Breezango needs to be the next thing for them. Okay. Are we moving on to the main show here? Okay.
Now we're officially on the main show.
Now we're on the main show. The Big Show versus Big Cass. Enzo Amore will be hanging above the ring in a shark cage. But more importantly, how will Tex Ferguson and Chad Too Bad have to do with this match?
I want them. I want them in this match. I don't care about Enzo and Cass. I don't care about this. I don't care that he's in a shark cage. I don't care if they put real sharks underneath the shark cage. And
that would be actually pretty good.
And if they don't finish the match between like some sort of time. If the Big Show doesn't win in 5 minutes, he gets dropped into a cage of sharks.
I mean, I don't get the stipulation.
I don't know. I don't care. Like, I don't understand. Like, the people that are saying that Enzo Amore is going to help Big Cass win is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Well, the point of having a manager most of the time, in this case a wrestler, hung from a shark cage is because during the build-up, they've interfered in enough matches to make them need to be taken out of the equation.
Mr. Fuji.
Right.
Or
China. Paul Ellering in NXT.
Yeah.
But this makes zero sense. It's just like, hey, we got a shark cage. We got to sell more of those toys, so throw Enzo in it.
Right. Yeah, it's dumb.
Okay.
There you go.
So we don't really care who's going to... See, you said that was the match that nobody really cares about.
No. I said that the
best match.
The best match.
Okay.
This is just the match that nobody.
Well, are you sure the next one isn't going to be the best match that nobody cares about?
I like Rusev more.
Randy Orton versus Rusev. Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. Because Randy Orton needed something to do. Rusev needed something to do.
I will honestly say though, I openly openly, like I literally LOL'd. Yeah. I laughed out loud on SmackDown, close-up of Rusev, Randy, and an RKO. I'm like, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That made me laugh. Good for SmackDown for making me laugh. Because that's all I asked for, entertain me.
Yeah, entertain me.
So that's going to be a match.
I hope Rusev wins because Rusev needs a win more. Mm-hmm. He needs to get back on track. He needs to get away.
He does.
He needs to get away from this anti-America gimmick.
Right.
Now we have two guys that are, I don't like America, boo America, and I'm foreign and I don't like America.
Right.
And Rusev was vanquished in a flag match last time, so I don't know why he needs to still be. Hating America doesn't work out for Rusev. So let's just move on. Let's all move on.
We've tried it before. It doesn't really work.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Maybe hating snakes is going to work for him this time.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
He hates snakes. Anyway, SmackDown Women's Champion. We are rolling through these.
Yeah.
SmackDown Women's Championship. Naomi is the champion. Natalya is the challenger. Total Divas is the reason. Let's get into it.
Carmella wins.
She's on Total Divas this year.
Yeah, Carmella.
I did that much research to figure out that Carmella is the newest cast member.
Yeah.
So you
Somebody
think
has
she's
to
going to come
replace
away?
Eva Marie.
Of course.
Hashtag.
Thank you, Eva Marie.
Thank you, Eva Marie.
So you do believe that she's going to cash in?
I do.
Okay.
I just don't think that there's...
I would like to see Natty get at least a couple weeks out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. She's done enough. Give her a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Because we had a whole season of Total Divas we got to build up to.
That's right.
You're
right.
They got to build that type of conflict.
You're right.
The E! Channel needs some content.
You're right. They do. They definitely do. And how are we ever going to tell the story of the backstage workings of the wrestlers when it doesn't matter, but it kind of matters?
It kind of matters.
Yeah.
It matters when you're Eva Marie. Thank you, Eva Marie. This is just a side note, and again, another one of my pet peeves. Naomi taking 20 minutes to come out and do her dance gimmick just to go on commentary.
Yeah.
And I will say this, Nakamura is guilty of that as well.
Yeah.
20-minute entrance just to cut a promo.
Yep.
Get to the ring, pal.
Well, that's like on the New Age Insiders. I get so mad. Jason and Bill hate it whenever I go on a rant because I'm constantly ranting about how I hate Naomi's entrance because there's no uniformity to it. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. So that's just a fun pet peeve of mine.
All right.
But yeah, I think Carmella's going to walk away with the title.
It's a pretty safe bet on that one. John Cena versus Baron Corbin. Speaking of cashing in.
Oh, this is going to be very interesting because that's a very controversial decision that happened on SmackDown. Baron Corbin cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase unsuccessfully.
He did.
Because John Cena distracted him.
Sure.
And I think that a lot of people immediately jump, a lot of the internet wrestling fans just kind of immediately jump into, he made somebody mad backstage. He has heat on him backstage.
Look, Baron Corbin made a cardinal sin. He besmirched the good name of Dave Meltzer on Twitter.
Right.
Nobody.
Yeah. Right.
I can't say on this show what I think about that guy.
Right. Uncle Dave, who he goes, hey, it's going to be this, but if things change, that's wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. No, but a lot of the internet is pointing to his actions on Twitter, but he's being a heel. He's a heel, and he was being a heel on Twitter, which, go to Kevin Owens' Twitter.
Right.
It's not much different.
No, not at all. And so I think that this match is going to be very telling between John Cena and Baron Corbin because if Baron Corbin comes out here and gets a decisive victory over John Cena,
then the internet was wrong.
The internet's wrong because now instead of cashing in immediately and getting a title that he might not necessarily be prepared to handle because he hasn't been a champion.
No, I agree.
He hasn't been a champion at any level on the NXT or the WWE level. Mm-hmm. So putting a title on him, let alone the WWE title right away, might not be the best thing to set him up for success.
Sure.
But a decisive win over John Cena plants him firmly in the main event scene because he just beat John flippin' Cena.
Let's be honest. Baron Corbin is no Jinder Mahal.
Right, he isn't Jinder Mahal. His win-loss record is way better.
Not. All right, moving over to the spookiness of the world.
I love spooky-tastic.
Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. Let me talk about Raw for a minute.
Yeah.
I loved the blood spot.
Yep.
I thought
even though they called it red liquid.
Yeah, I know. Whatever. They called it that in the Attitude Era as well. Whatever. I loved it. It looked great. It looked cool. Here's what I didn't like, and I even put in my notes. You blew it.
Yeah.
They announced almost immediately after that yes, he's going to be the Demon. It's like, why not just let that play out? We kind of all knew anyway. I mean, they were telegraphing their hand way in advance, but let it play out. You don't need to be like, it's not going to sell any more tickets. You know, people are going to go regardless for the match. Let it play. But they're like, oh yes, we have confirmed information that this spooky character is going to be on SummerSlam. What?
Yeah. Yay!
Who would you talk to? The devil?
The Undertaker might not be retired if you ask Michael Cole.
They got on the Kane campaign hotline like, Kane, what's going on? Oh, Demon. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, is he your brother? Your cousin? Is he now Devil's favorite demon? What's happening?
I think these two are going to put on a hell of a match.
I think it's going to be great.
I want to see it continue. I want to see this storyline play out. I want to see House of Horrors 2 with these guys. Maybe, I don't know what kind of a place a demon lives, but I want to see that version.
Some sort of weird Finn Balor Irish
cave of horrors.
You just got red clovers everywhere.
Definitely. They have so much room to play with this one.
Yeah.
That's one I'm definitely looking forward to.
I'm definitely excited for that. I think it's going to be great because we haven't seen the Demon in so long.
To the point everybody thought it was kind of over.
Right.
You know? And not in the way they want it to be over.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So, the next match.
Oh, yeah. Is Raw Tag Team titles.
This is going to be interesting.
Cesaro versus Not a Shield.
So it's fun fact.
Yeah.
I briefly met Sheamus and Cesaro.
Okay.
Checking into their hotel on Monday. When they were here.
Oh, in
last
Boston.
Monday,
Oh, okay.
In Boston.
I was like, what? Where were you stalking?
I told Cesaro that I really enjoyed him in the wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Because he was in that movie and everybody thought it was
way to go
English.
Inside. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought he makes a cameo appearance. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Moving on.
But Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins,
2/3
of the Shield back together, at least for this match.
Mm-hmm.
I have some hashtag hot takes for the end of this one.
Cannot wait.
But I think that this sets up later in the evening. I think that Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins are going to reluctantly find a way to win together.
Okay.
I think they're going to pull this one out.
Okay. So your hot take's going to come later in the show.
My hot take is going to come later in the show.
Okay, fair enough. And personally, and this might play right into it, I have it in my notes, no Roman, no Shield. I haven't been a fan of this because of that reason. They've been building a Shield reunion, but not really.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I know Roman Reigns is off doing his...
Yeah.
He's got a bigger match involved. He's got the Universal title. But I felt there was something they could have done, some way they could have done it. And maybe we talk about that a little bit later on. But again, Sheamus and Cesaro, I would love for them to keep it. I think they're a great team.
Yeah.
At the very least, I'd like to see them chase it if they don't keep it.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that this necessarily is over between these two teams.
Got the rematch clause, pal.
Yeah, I don't think it's over between these two teams, but I do think that Seth and Dean take it off of them.
All right. Raw Women's title, Alexa Bliss, champion, versus Sasha Banks, replacing Bayley.
Yeah. The best thing to happen to Bayley is her getting off of TV. I thought she was floundering a little bit, so to kind of replace her with Sasha Banks, I think is the right call for right now. Mm-hmm. Kind of reset that sympathy card for Bayley, which is so crucial and important to her character. Having Sasha Banks come in, I wouldn't hate whoever wins this match, really. Mm-hmm. I really like Alexa Bliss, and I like what she's doing. And I would like to see her against Nia Jax, but I'm also a big fan of Sasha Banks taking this and her facing Nia Jax.
I want to see Nia Jax in this somehow.
I
think that's what everybody wants to see. The biggest problem I have with that is the amount of times they've had Nia Jax tap out. I don't mind her losing, but she's tapped out even on last week's Raw.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I would love to see something along the lines of Nia Jax somehow involved in this match, cost whoever loses their match, and then they start going.
Right.
Because that's the story I want to see. Right. I need to see Nia Jax involved with one of these two.
Yeah, and I would love to see Nia Jax be in a match here that isn't necessarily for the title. I would love to see the WWE, especially on a card that's going to be 45 hours long.
It really is.
We can have a secondary women's storyline.
13, 14 matches on this?
Right. We can have a secondary women's storyline somewhere, and I would like to see one with Nia Jax.
There's a lot of women not on the card, and we'll get to that in a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, either one can win.
Yep.
Nia Jax has to be involved.
Right.
That's my feeling.
Well, I don't even care if Nia Jax is involved. I just want Nia Jax to be next in line.
That's what I mean. Yeah. She has to be like in the running somehow.
Right.
There we go. United States title, AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens, special guest referee Shane O'Mac.
Oh man, this is gonna be so much fun.
It really is.
This is gonna be so much fun. The fans win. That's who wins this match.
Well, it's one of those things, and I have it written down, but I shouldn't even have to have it written down. My opinion, match of the night contender, but it's almost like, yeah, you got AJ Styles and Kevin Owens. It's always going to be a match of the night contender with those guys working. Then you add Shane McMahon into it.
Right, and it'll be interesting to see how Shane McMahon gets involved because they're obviously going to work him into the match somehow.
They are, and I feel whichever way he goes, that's the direction they're heading for Survivor Series.
Right.
I would like Kevin Owens to get his title back because I love the Face of America.
Yeah, the Face of America stuff.
But I feel that they're pushing towards Shane and Kevin down the road,
so
he would have to lose.
Right, and it also feels like the Face of America stuff is done.
Kind of.
You know,
I just like it.
I do too.
I like it.
I do too.
I like a good heel.
Yeah.
But match of the night contender, absolutely. Shane McMahon, I think we know, is going to get involved some way, shape, or form. And then that moves us right on to the WWE title, Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
I hope that the Jinder Mahal experiment is over.
I don't. I do not.
I do, just because Jinder Mahal has not evolved as a character. He still hates America, even though the guy that he is facing is Japanese. And it's just like, how can your issue still be like, I hate America, and Shinsuke Nakamura is going to be the guy to defend America's honor?
He is.
That makes no sense.
Well, he works for an American company.
Yeah, but that I don't care about.
I'll justify it any way I want, pal.
I know, you can justify it however you want. Jinder Mahal, and I've said this so many times on NAI Pod, that he is presented the wrong way.
Yeah.
He should be a good guy. Jinder Mahal should be the face in all of these situations because he should be the guy that is winning this title and continuing to be champion in spite of the regime, right? You saddled me with being in 3MB. Because that needs to be a part of it because his whole his win-loss record is abysmal.
I was going to use the same word.
Abysmal. And your audience is smart enough to realize that. Your audience is smart enough to know that this was the guy from 3MB. So why is he different? And it can't be just because he's now like a rug enthusiast or something. And so...
Well, he's not really the same guy. Yeah. I mean, it looks like he swallowed the last Jinder Mahal.
It does, but, explain to me why. Explain to me, why he's decided to do that.
Healthy living and working out.
Yeah, it's steroids. And so... So,
hot take.
I know why they put the title on him, and I like new guys, new opportunities, so I'm okay with that, but I'm over for the experiment, especially when one of the best professional wrestlers on the planet is across the ring from him.
Now, here's my thought, and here's why I semi-disagree with that. So far, he's only been with Randy Orton.
Yeah.
This is their opportunity. Because they've been saying Jinder's a champion, he's a credible champion, all this.
Yeah.
Beating Shinsuke Nakamura in a title match at SummerSlam cements that credibility they've been talking about. Shinsuke can win it on Tuesday night if they want to, in a rematch or whatever. But winning on a big show like that adds the credibility, the legitimacy that they have been talking about that he has. That's where they have to sell it. Because just beating the same guy over and over, month after month, it's beating the same guy month after month. Now you got this guy who is one of the greatest wrestlers in the world going up against Jinder Mahal. If they can put on a good match, why not? Why not give it a try?
Yeah,
because and also, it's pushing towards my real goal of Mojo Mania.
I know.
Where is Mojo Rawley on SummerSlam? We want Mojo.
I know. I gotta buy a pizza tonight for the show.
You never know, though. He could get involved. He's not booked, so he could be getting involved. We're still trying to pay off that WrestleMania thing.
I know. I hope so.
So let's get Mojo on the show and get him involved. Maybe he cost somebody something or other, and
I know.
And it's got to be Jinder and Mojo for the title because that's why I don't really care about Shinsuke Nakamura. Mojo Rawley versus he's gonna be the next WWE champion.
Oh, God.
Just so we can finally be right.
I hope so. I hope so.
And the big main event of the night, Universal title. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, Smojo.
Yeah, so
Bunch of bruisers.
This is going to be awesome.
There's going to be a couple of snug shots, if you will.
The best part about this is that in a four corners match like this, it's no DQ. And I think that they're going to use that to its fullest. I think it's going to be brutal. I love Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman may be, aside from Kevin Owens, he may be my favorite wrestler on the main roster. And he's fantastic. I want a t-shirt that just says, and I'll say it every time I'm on this show, that it's just him pointing like that Uncle Sam thing, and it's just, I'm not finished with you. That's it. That's all I want. I just want that shirt. But
Pro Wrestling Tees, get on it.
Yeah.
Because we know WWE isn't going to do it.
But this is where my hashtag hot take comes in.
Okay, let's
this
get
is where
to
we
it.
pay it off.
I can't wait.
Earlier in the night, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, they get together and they reluctantly win the tag team championship, rekindling their friendship in the process. Then, in this match, they end up helping Roman Reigns win the Universal title by triple power bombing Braun Strowman through a table. And that's how we end up getting the Shield back together.
Okay.
Because they all together captured those
Roman's
titles.
winning.
Roman wins.
Roman wins the title. But that, you know what that means? Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman leave the WWE supposedly for more than 6 months.
Right. So I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But
what is your take? Do you think Brock is going to go to UFC to fight John Jones?
I do think so. I think
like this soon?
I think so.
I figured Vince would try to push that to at least Mania season.
Yeah, I think he's going to try and get rid of it, and we'll figure out how we end up.
Or he's just going to get maybe a fall fight, and then he can come back for Mania for the Roman match type of thing.
Right, because I think that we're going to get Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
I think we've all kind of settled on that one.
And so I think that this kind of gives it a fresher take, because it's nauseating if Brock Lesnar holds this championship till WrestleMania, when we all know Roman Reigns will beat him for the title. Whereas if Roman Reigns walks in champion, now all of a sudden we don't know who wins.
Okay.
And that's a much better
Tell us
match.
about a story.
It's a much better match.
There you go.
If we have no idea whether Roman Reigns retains or Brock Lesnar
So you think Roman Reigns is going to come out the champion by way of a Shield reunion?
Yes.
Okay.
And now
I would be happy with that.
And now,
because that would satisfy me on the earlier match.
Right. And in addition to that, you're looking at having a heel. You're having Roman Reigns turn heel, which he's getting booed anyway.
Right.
So have him boo for the right reasons, as opposed to the wrong reasons. You now refresh Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins' characters, who are both in need of major resets, and now you have a heel stable that's running amok.
I was just going to ask, do you think that they're going to go heel?
I would hope so. I would hope so.
So Dean and Seth are going to kind of pawn off of Roman's heat.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a heel Shield.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
And now they're just going to start attacking people.
I dig that.
And they're going to protect the Shield.
Almost like a Shield reboot.
Right.
We're just going to redo what we did.
We're just going to redo what we did. But instead of them protecting CM Punk, kind of,
Sure,
they're now helping
protecting
Roman Reigns and keep that title.
Okay. And they're going to have the tag titles for you.
And they'll have the tag titles as well.
Okay. All right. I dig it. Well, that is the card for SummerSlam. But of course, we got our Rasslin rant. And this time around, I wanted to talk about something that's been popping the internet ever since they filmed the first episode of the Mae Young Classic, which we'll talk about the Mae Young Classic next month because it'll finally be wrapped up.
Yeah, it starts not this Monday, but next Monday.
Right. And this Rasslin rant is UFC's 4 Horsewomen versus the WWE's 4 Horsewomen. It feels like an inevitable, but when, where, none of, with the exception of Sasha, the other 2 aren't booked. Bayley's hurt, but Charlotte and Becky got nothing to do tonight.
Right. I don't think it'll be.
Do you think there's going to be something, a passing?
I think if anything, it'll set up something for Survivor Series.
Because
that would be cool.
I mean, they're starting to integrate Ronda Rousey's 4 Horsewomen.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them, I believe, is on NXT. She's Roderick Strong's wife.
Yep.
The other one is in the Mae Young Classic.
Yes.
And of course, Ronda has been around WrestleManias and she's been around WWE for years. Huge fan, friend of the company.
Right. I think that you might tease something tonight, but the payoff will be Survivor Series.
Survivor Series?
Yeah, you'd have a 4-on-4 Survivor Series type match.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a good
You know
call.
what I mean? Like that would be what the payoff would be.
That would be a hell of a main event.
You know,
But, yeah, okay. So you think they're going to go that route?
Yeah, I think if you have 8 people, I think that's the best way to do it.
Now that kind of leads into also WWE and UFC's relationship, because this isn't the first time. I mean, of course, we had Brock fight last year. Was it last year or the year before? It doesn't matter. Yeah. He's going to obviously fight again. He's got the John Jones thing going back and forth. But Becky Lynch has been getting Twitter bashed by Chris Cyborg.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, and I guess last week she came out and said that Ronda Rousey was the reason that she wasn't booked at SummerSlam with Becky Lynch. And I'm like, okay. She's been posting a lot of fan art. Is there something there? Do you think, or is she just trying to get a job?
I think she's just
trying to tweet her resume out.
Yeah, I think she's just trying to tweet her resume out. I don't know if there's necessary. I think they'd take her. So
Sure.
I think that, I think her UFC career is basically done. So move on to the next stage.
Okay. Now I also feel, because it's one of those things, and every time it's brought up, the conversation of WWE, UFC, every time it's brought up to Dana White,
Yeah.
no sells it.
Yeah.
Not happening. We're not involved. But also, he's one of the best promoters in the fight game, along with Vince McMahon.
Right.
They could just be working all of us, because all of a sudden Brock signs and all of the promos are for the video game and for SummerSlam and all. It's like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
You guys,
they know where the money
they
is.
like making money.
Right,
Let's
they-
not be the McGregor-Mayweather fight is proof they like making money.
Yeah, right.
know?
And I think that he takes a hard stance because of the fan base. I think that the UFC fan base very
purists.
much, the purists.
The people that feel that this show is fake.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Which it is. This isn't a real wall, and this isn't a real desk.
But
we this desk. And so I think he's kind of waving the flag for them. Whereas he sees the money in Brock Lesnar and he sees the money that there is for THQ, or not THQ, wow, hashtag 2K,
Yeah.
to have them pay for advertising.
Sure.
And they're going to pay a lot of money for advertising.
And I understand that too, because he wants to keep his brand pure, because it is legitimate fighting.
Right.
And it would be bad for business for him to officially be in business with WWE, because that is scripted fighting as opposed to legitimate fighting.
Right.
So I understand that stance on it. But again, like I said, he's not opposed to taking Vince's money or vice versa.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel that they're waiting to print money with the Horsewomen thing.
And then I forget, someone's going to be, a UFC fighter is scheduled to be here tonight.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I forget who it is. I'm going to have to take a look at it. But yeah, there's a UFC fighter that's apparently going to make an appearance tonight.
Oh, very good.
So there is a connection.
There is something there.
There is something there. So
if you can answer Liam's question, tweet us. That would be the
Yeah.
easiest thing to do. Tell us how wrong we were about everything. That also helps.
Yeah.
And of course, right after the show, this is the first time I'm actually going to be doing this.
Yes.
We're going to be live right back here immediately following SummerSlam. We're going to be live I'm going to be live right here on NESN's Facebook. Liam, you're going to be doing the post show from the New Age Insiders, and it's going to be a first time we're doing a live post show. So right after SummerSlam, come right back here to NESN's Facebook page for a live wrap-up with myself. You will be on New Age Insiders.
yeah, you just go to newageinsiders.com and there's a listen live button, and we'll be live
Perfect.
immediately right after.
Click on everything. Follow us on Twitter, because we'll be tweeting throughout the show. SummerSlam's going to be great. It's going to be a great
It is.
27-hour spectacular. I'm looking forward to it. And I will be seeing you next month?
Yes.
What is it, like No Mercy or?
Yeah, No Mercy, In Your House 17.
Oh, okay. We're going back to In Your House. I can dig it. So for Liam Stryker, I am Mike Wendt. Thanks for tuning into That Wrestling Show.
Yeah.